Hey, welcome to CMN Lead. My name is Mike. I serve on the CMN field-based team, and I also started Focus Church several years ago here in Raleigh, North Carolina, alongside with my wife. And I want to talk to you today a little bit about creating relational equity with the decision makers in your church, the influencers. Maybe it's called an elder board or a deacon board or a board of directors or maybe overseers or leadership council, whatever language you've put on it. I want to teach you a little bit about how I have approached creating some relational equity with the people in my church that technically have authority over me. I'm submitted to them. They're here to help make sure that the preaching is not heretical, that our church is on the right path, and that I'm protected and my family is protected from harm and evil and anything that might come against us. But they're also here to coach and correct if there's ever any disagreement or discord within our church. And so these are godly men and women, and we're grateful to surrender and submit our lives to their leadership and their wisdom. But sometimes what can happen with a board is that the only time we ever interact is in the board room. And where trust is low, decisions are slow. Let me say that one more time. Where trust is low, decisions are slow. Where trust is high, decision making happens fast. In a boardroom, when the board doesn't trust the pastor, or vice versa, the pastor doesn't trust the board, the trust is low and decisions are slow. And so just to get new chairs, it takes 3 months of meetings and 5 different votes and all of these things, because there's such little trust in the pastor, or there's such little trust in the board, that there's tension and it creates slow decision making. So where the trust is low, the decisions are slow. So where the trust is high, the decisions are fast. So how do we create more trust? Well, you create more trust outside of the boardroom. There's a couple of ways to do that. Recently, I just started exercising with one of my board members. He goes on a 5K walk every morning. And I said, hey, when do you do your walks? He said, I do them at 6 a.m. at this park, and we walk through the trail. And I said, awesome. Can I join you once a week? He said, absolutely. So, every Tuesday I'm out there walking, and we're just talking. It's 45 minutes, an hour walk, and we're just walking and really getting to know one another. We don't discuss all church business. We don't discuss all family matters. It's just a mixture of both. But what I'm doing is I'm fostering relational equity. I'm getting to know him. I'm getting to know him and his family's concerns. I'm getting to know their needs, their wants, their desires for the church. I'm getting to know his heart for me and his love for our church. And it's so healthy, because when I go into the boardroom, I know where he's at personally. There's several different ways to cultivate this. Making sure that your board members' kids' birthdays are recognized, sending them a little card or Apple Cash or little iTunes gift card, or however old they are, whatever would meet their birthday, wishes. You can do that as a pastor, and what you're doing is you're fostering and you're creating and you're developing relational equity. One of the best things I've ever heard was, you will know people by how they love your children. So if people don't love my children, well, they probably don't love me. And so I'm learning to love my elders' children, my board of directors' children. I'm learning to love my staff's children. Why? Because I want to create that trust that is transcendent outside of the boardroom and into the boardroom whenever we have to make big decisions. So in a vulnerable moment, whenever I've made, maybe I made a financial decision that wasn't the right one, or maybe I preached a message that didn't land right, or a family had a disagreement in the church and it created a lot of drama, they'll have my back because I've fostered trust. And when you foster trust, you can make decisions quickly. And so some of you might be struggling with only seeing your board during the board meeting. Well, that might be some of the problem, is making sure you're scheduling breakfast and lunch and dinners and birthdays and soccer games and exercise. All of the things that you could do to foster trust outside of the boardroom will carry over into the boardroom when it comes to making decisions fast.